Welcome to Up to the Minute. I'm Todd Duplantis, your HCC news and information to wrap up the week. We've got it all for you. Some special guests for the next half hour. Glad to have you with us on this, I hate to say it, dare I say it, Friday the 13th of April. I am kind of superstitious, but I don't like Friday the 13th. That's just the way I roll. Frank Cooper's my co-host. Frank, are you a fan of Friday the 13th?
Movies, yeah.
Not the actual day itself, huh?
No, the actual day is kind of creepy.
Yeah. I think I might stay inside the apartment today. I don't know. It's just one of those things. It gives me the creeps. I guess it goes back, and this is a true story. When I was a kid, my parents got into a really bad accident on Friday the 13th. I was in the car with them. I was probably like 3 or 4. Luckily, none of us were seriously injured. But ever since that, my mother was very superstitious, and I guess it just rubbed off on me. So Friday the 13th, I'm not a big fan. Full moons, not a big fan of those either.
My mom had a cruel joke that she'll do to me. Anytime it's a Friday the 13th, I always call and check on my mom, see how she's doing. And she'll purposely won't answer the phone. She'll just she won't call back until hours later. I'm like, that's real funny, Mom.
Oh, yeah. Thanks, Mom. Yeah. Get with it, Mom. All right. So, Frank, we got a lot of sports to talk about later in the show. That Field of Dreams baseball game, pretty incredible. That was last night. We'll talk about that later in the show. But you want to remind folks about our social media because, hey, folks, if you don't watch us live on Facebook or YouTube like you're doing now, we are on HCCTV at noon and 5 p.m., the rebroadcast of this show. And we're also all across social media. Right, Frank? Looks like Frank got frozen. All right. You there, Frank? Okay. We'll check in with Frank.
I can hear you.
Okay, we can hear you. It looks like you're having a little delay, so maybe we can catch up with you later on in the show. So stand by. We'll get to you later on the show. But look for us in social media, Houston Community College District. We're on YouTube, of course, on Facebook. You're watching us there right now. And we're across all social media as Houston Community College District. Find us, follow us, share the show, and we appreciate you joining us. Let's get into it today. 2 special guests from our Houston Community College family. First off, Dr. Azita Ahosseini. She's the program coordinator for the Process Technology Department with the HCC Global Energy Institute. Good morning, Dr. Ahosseini.
Good morning.
It's good to have you with us. Welcome back to the show. I know you've been on a couple times before. We're going to talk with you in a little while. I know you got some new things with the department you want to talk with us about, so we're going to get to you momentarily. So grab some coffee. We'll be with you shortly. My first guest is one of our HCC instructors. He's an audio recording instructor, also a film composer, and our Film Friday guest, Jeffrey Walton. Jeff, it's good to see you again, sir.
Thank you. Good morning, Todd. How are you?
Yeah, I think the last time we saw each other in person, if you remember, it was the ELO concert at Toyota Center. Jeff Lynn brought back his ELO, and you just happened to be standing in line in front of us. That was hard to believe about 4 years ago.
I know.
It was a great night.
It was a great night, and that was when we met.
That's right.
That's the only time I've been with you in person.
That's right. And well, I've been with you in person, but you were on stage years ago, if you remember. And I think I mentioned this to you before. Jeff was a member of the Judys, and I had a chance to see you guys at Numbers. I believe it was 85 or 86, but y'all were on the Moo tour. Right. And so I had a chance to see that show. So it's always good to have you with us on the show. You are currently working out of the Northwest College, and we talked about this before we went on the air, but you've been doing things remotely. How have things been working with you and in your instruction and your classes and your students with delivering everything online since the beginning of COVID? How has that worked out?
It's working out pretty good right now. It was shaky at first, and we had to come up with some sort of thinking outside of the box as far as how to get them equipment that they would need and software they would need. And we were all able to combine ideas and make it happen. So by the time we hit spring, it was pretty smooth. And I just did a summer session earlier, and that went really well as well. And I realized it's working. So at least for the classes that I teach, the MIDI classes and film scoring, we're able to do it online. So we're off to the races with that, I think.
I know you're going to be returning to campus in the fall. Do you see the online component still playing a big role in the way you instruct?
Well, I'm doing an online class. One of my classes is just purely online. So, my attitude is that this is how we're going to be going forward. I mean, I don't know what the real plans are with the school, but it's hard for me to imagine that we're going to be going backwards.
Yeah.
So, I'm all over it. I really like it. And it's a new frontier, and I'm kind of excited about it, to be honest. And it's enabled me to learn how to edit and make videos for instruction and all that sort of thing. And it's working again. So I'm happy with it.
When a student has an interest in composing music for films and doing scores, when they start in your classes, what's the biggest misconception they may have going into this?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't, maybe that it'll be easy to get work.
Yeah.
Right. But, I share with them all the war stories that I have. So, I don't know if they have misconceptions. I think that they don't really understand a lot of times what it's going to entail, how much work how long it may take them to break in, and how do you get started, and all those sort of things. And that's what I walk them through, in addition to the technical side of it and how to do it and how to lock the picture and all of that. And, I just I think if anything, I just try to share with them, especially my bad stories, the things
that's where you learn the most.
That's where you learn the most.
Yeah.
And that's the stuff that they remember. If I sit up there and just tell them, well, I did this one time, and they don't care. But if I tell them, here's where I completely failed one time, or this really happened and it was terrible, they'll never forget that stuff. So I make sure I get all of that in. So I don't know. I don't know if there's misconceptions about things, but they have a pretty good out view of how things will be by the end of the semester anyway.
Let's talk about making the move, because you've done scores for many films. Let's talk about making the move from being a musician, having some regional success, and going into the world of film scoring. Did you have a role? I notice a lot of people when they make a major step in life, we all have mentors that may steer us that way, or you say, I want to be that person. What inspired you to get started into scoring films? And did you have a mentor or a role model you wanted to emulate?
Yes, but I didn't know him. I grew up as a soundtrack kid. I listened to soundtracks as a kid. I bought them or were given as presents or whatever. I still have all my vinyl from back in the day. So by the time I hit middle school, I was listening to Jerry Goldsmith and Nicholas Roja scores and John Barry and all this kind of stuff. And that was before I got into wanting to be a rock star, and I went through that phase. And so it's always been with me. And so by the time I hit about 21 was when I went, I want to do this. And probably those two, Jerry Goldsmith and Roja, were my two role models as far as who I latched onto and just buried myself in that stuff. And that was the 90s for me. I kind of broke through in the early 90s when I got the first film. And so that was the decade that I just left all the band stuff behind and completely immersed myself in that. But that's who I used as role models. I would read and read and read and read. I didn't have anyone here to teach me how to do it. George Burt was at Rice. I went to I did meet him once and read his book, but no, I didn't really have a personal mentor to show me what to do. I had to learn how to do it on my own. And fortunately, if I did have a mentor or somebody that helped me, it was a director named Fred Olin Ray, who is really responsible for my career. He gave me my first film, or my first legitimate film that went out on video where I could go into a store and rent it. And that's what got me started. And we've done a lot of work together. We still do sometimes, even lately. He was, if anything, he and some of those others that I've started with were my mentors, because I could screw up and then they'd still hire me for the next.
Yeah, film. That's always good.
Yeah. So, I mean, these were B movies, these were Hollywood B movies, and I was doing it long distance. I was in Houston scoring films in my little office studio. And they would keep giving me work, and then another director would hear my work, and then they would hire me. And so I kind of feel like they were all my mentors because I would learn things from them. Roger Corman I worked for his company for about 4 films, and I met Corman eventually.
Incredible. What an incredible individual.
Yeah. And it was amazing to be able to talk to him and say, I've worked for you. And he was like, oh, really? And I was I was able to tell him. And so those were the people that really taught me things, lessons, and no, do this, or make it all tense, or make it this, because the audience is going to think that, all that sort of stuff. And it was years and years of learning.
You mentioned doing the rock star thing for a while. Of course, the Judys, you worked with them for many years, and you posted a picture on Facebook within the last year, a few months back. And I believe you posted it, and it was with the Talking Heads, and you guys opened for the Talking Heads. And you wrote something like, when you're that young and you reach this pinnacle, you think it's never going to end.
Right.
Do you look back on that now? Because that's one of the things when you have early success, you just think that this is going to be going on forever.
I don't know if I thought that, when we did that, when we first started, within a year of us hitting the clubs, we grew up in Pearland, and it was a little town at the time. So we're playing in Houston, and then within a year we were opening for B-52s and Talking Heads. I was a senior in high school. So I'm
incredible
gigging in clubs and opening for my heroes. They were my heroes at the time.
Yeah.
They still are. And it was an incredible experience. But yeah, I just remember thinking, we're making it.
Yeah.
We're making it. And yet we never got signed. We never really got out of Texas. There's people all over now that some people that know us, but, it was primarily a regional thing. But it was an incredible experience. And without it, I wouldn't have all the other stuff, because everything's sort of linked together, right? The Judys experience taught me so much about recording.
Sure.
Good grief. We were recording with Steve Baines, who I now work with in the audio department.
That's incredible.
Steve had the studio. So I've known Steve since I was 16. We first went in his studio. I was 16. So it was, you just can't, what am I trying to say? That's an experience that you can't just make happen. It just happened. And that's what led me to get to know Fred. And I had done a couple of solo songs, which got into one of his films, and it all connects. It's all connected.
It's amazing how we look at the trajectory of our life and those little things that steer us in one direction, and we can use our experiences. One final question. You think we'll ever see a Judys reunion anytime?
Oh, I don't know. We did one in 2007, I think, at the Austin Music Awards. They invited us to do that during South by. And we had done a little private show before that, and then we did that. And I thought maybe if we were going to do it, that was the time, because we were all rehearsed and we were in good shape. And then we just didn't, which is typical of the Judys. I don't know now right now, I don't think so, but I would say never say never.
Never say never.
Never say never. I don't feel it. I don't think any of us do right now. I'm not really interested.
Yeah.
But, we'll see.
Jeff Walton, he's a HCC audio recording instructor, film and TV composer, and our Friday film guest. Jeff, we appreciate you being here. It's good to see you again. I hope to see you again in person soon.
Same. Thank you, Todd.
Take care, Jeff.
You too.
All right, we're going to move on to Dr. Azita Ahosseini. She is the program coordinator of the Process Technology Department for the HCC Global Energy Institute. I understand, Dr. Ahosseini, welcome back once again. Always good to see you. I understand you're creating pathways through dual credit programs. I know that is a big thing for HCC, bringing those high school students on board, getting them some college credits. Tell us about the ones you guys are offering.
Yes, good morning. Thank you. Yes, that's true. We know that companies are seeking and looking for younger talents. And this program is aimed to bring high school students into the process tech careers. We work with HCCTV. We are offering one course, Introduction to Process Technology, PTAC 1302, at ALIF ISD, and we plan to work with other ISDs in the future. But for now, we start with this opportunity.
And what you have a future location coming up? You guys are going to be expanding. What tell us about that?
Oh, Process Technology program has been expanded to Southwest College. So we are offering 4 classes in hybrid modality at the Missouri City campus. This is a very good start for us. And we are going to offer in-person classes over there after pandemic.
And I know with process technology, people automatically would think it involves learning computer software, but also I understand you're using virtual reality to teach the students. I imagine this came in handy over the shutdown and the remote learning. Maybe you can tell us a bit about that.
Correct. Yes. We tested virtual reality in one of our summer classes, and it was a very, very good experience for us. We received very positive feedback from our students. That's why we are going to invest more on purchasing equipment and headset for the whole class for our students in this fall. And we are going to use 3 safety modules, scenarios: confined space, falling safety, and lockout tagout. And we are looking for and searching for more modules that are related to our classes for the future.
What type of certificates can people get? Are there certain levels, and can you get a minimal certificate in process technology and go out to work and then come back and get more? How does that work?
Yes, we offer level 1 certificate. After passing 40 credit hours, they can go and find their favorite jobs in industry. But also we offer Associate of Applied Science. But for now, we don't offer any other certificates like level 1 certificate. We just offer level 2.
If you get your level 2 in the associates, are you what type of living are you looking at making? What can your students can expect to make upon graduation?
Okay, after the graduate, they will be certified. So process tech certified, and they can go ahead, find a job, work. If they want, they can come back and get their associate degree. So they are open to it is stackable, and it is actually transferable.
What are the salary? What is the salary like for graduates starting out in process technology?
It's the median wage is annually is about $67,000.
$67,000 after you get a 2-year degree. Wow.
Yes.
And that's average starting. That's incredible.
Yes,
that's a great job. You guys are you still doing things online right now? And are you going to be opening up more in the fall on the campuses? What are you looking at heading into this next fall?
For this fall, we are going to have our hybrid classes on. Our core courses, all of our core courses will be in campus and in the lab. We are going to follow guidelines, safety guidelines still, wearing masks, everything, managing the lab. We are going to have manage the experiments so that students follow the social distancing and everything, safety. But we will be in campus. And also we are going to have online classes, online schedule, and synchronous, asynchronous, all of them. So we will have all of those modalities, but for lab required courses, we will offer them online. In person and
in person.
hybrid.
Okay.
Hybrid, yes.
If you want to sign up for the fall classes, there is still time to do so. Or are you still available to register for your fall classes right now?
Yes, it is available.
Okay, so here's the deal. After the show, we're going to put a link in our social media post to take you to the program. You can explore the program, but you can also sign up now for it. We have a lot of tuition assistance available through HCC, so make sure you sign up today, and we'll put a link in our social media post. Dr. Azita Ahosseini, Program Coordinator of the Process Technology Department. Thanks for being here this morning.
You're very welcome. Thanks for having me.
All right, we'll see you again soon. Okay, Frank Cooper in the house. Frank on Fridays. That's right. It's Frank on Fridays. And before we talk sports, we're going to talk some announcements. Frank, we've got some August community learning events going on right now.
We want to remind our viewers for a new round of community learning programs approaching. Coming soon are the Opportunity Workshops, Excel Level 200, Beyond Spreadsheets, noon to 1:30 Friday, which is today, August 13th. And also Scams and Disasters, ages 50 plus, disaster preparedness from 10 to 11:30, Wednesday, August 18th. Registration will be below at the end of the post after our show. For more information, go to hccs.edu, community/learning.
Okay, HCC virtual coffee breaks. They are here. They're going on right now. Not right now, but they happen once a week. Janet May, Chief Human Resources Officer, chats about adapting to our current reality. She has a number of guests. Next week, guess who she's got on? You know who it is, Frank?
I think it's
Dr. Shante Grace. That's exactly right. Dr. Shante Grace is going to be our guest. She is the Vice Chancellor of Student Services. That's happened 11 a.m. Tuesday, August the 17th. You can register, check your emails. It is next Tuesday. And Betachek Orman auction needs your help, Frank.
It will be held Saturday, November 6th. Needs donated items, and they want you to register for the event. Auction proceeds support worthwhile professional development opportunities for adjunct and full-time faculty at HCC. These, in turn, impact the growth of our students as well. We have the email for more information in the post prior to the show.
Students, we've got a handbook available, catalog and handbook. They are free. The 2021-2022 HCC catalog and student handbook is published online. You can access it through by creating your My HCC catalog accounts for easy reference. We'll have a link to the catalog in the post after the show. So go online, download it. You'll be good to go. The World in a Nutshell, that's happening over at Central College, Frank.
I want to remind you about its regional geography classes available this fall. The core curriculum courses in person from 7 to 8:30 p.m. Tuesdays and Thursdays. So to register for that class, go to hccs.edu/now.
Okay, the next two announcements are kind of intertwined. So let's start with this. Registration for the fall is underway. Classes start August 23rd. I believe that's a week from Monday. So register now. We've got 5 ways of learning, including in-person classes. We've got some classes that are online, some of them that are a mixture of both, called hybrids, and then in-person classes. They've been happening over the summer on our campuses. They'll happen in the fall. They'll be following CDC guidelines, social distancing enforced, and they'll be very small. So you need to sign up now. If you sign up now, register for the fall, we've got emergency funding from the government to help you pay for all your tuition. It's as easy as that, okay? But first, you have to be a student at HCC. So register today. We'll help you pay for the classes. Go to hccs.edu now, edu/now to get started. Register now. Okay, so Frank, last night they had a special baseball game on called The Field of Dreams. And it was interesting because it kind of harked back to the old Field of Dreams movie. And it was next to the diamond they built for the movie. They built a special one for TV, but it was very cool, surrounded by cornfields. And the opening had Kevin Costner in it. The players were wearing throwbacks. It was just a great deal. Did you see any of the game?
I didn't see any of the game, but I did catch a highlight earlier doing this podcast. And it was Dyersville, Iowa, man, for the Yankees White Sox game. And it's just a great reminder of how great that movie was. Even that movie made me fall in love with baseball. My family as well. So Kevin Costner is a baseball legend. In the world of MLB for just garnering so much interest for the game of baseball.
They were saying many of the players who were on the field weren't even alive when the movie was made and released, and they'd only see it on TV or reruns or something like that. But Kevin Costner was there. The players were all walking up, shaking his hand. They all walked out from the cornfields. It was cool. It was kind of chilling because it reminded you of the movie, and just the way they did it was incredible. Probably one of the best things in sports this year, because sports pretty crazy this year, especially if you go out to Texans training camp. Boy, that's just a dumpster fire raging every day, isn't it?
You know what? That cast needs to be added to the Days of Our Lives or As the World Turns. Like every day, there's new news about no news regarding Deshaun Watson.
Except for yesterday when he actually spoke to the press. He gave him 2 sentences, and one of them had an expletive in it, asking why they kept videotaping him. He said filming, but it was really videoing him.
Yeah, it's, I don't know what the Texans are doing. Like, again,
why is he even there? Why is he there?
Like,
come on now.
Like, no good team will want a bad apple. And not to say he's a bad person. I'm sure he's a quality guy, but he doesn't want to be there. So why would you want him around your first year guys, your second year guys, your young players? You're trying to develop a culture. You're Nick Casario. You're the new GM. You have your new head coach. You're trying to build a new culture from here on out. Why would you want to keep a guy there that does not want to be there?
Well, one thing he still hasn't done is he still hasn't said in public to the media, I want to be traded. I don't want to be here. He hasn't said anything like that. It's going through lawyers and rumors and craziness and all the legal issues he has. It's just, come out, just say, I don't want to be here, trade me, and just clear the air.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, maybe with the pending lawsuit, he's trying to keep a low profile. Maybe I'm not sure. I'm sure that he's getting.
Oh yeah, he's keeping a low profile. All right, yeah. Being in practice to avoid a $50,000 a day fine. That's what he's doing.
Exactly. But you know what? Not to change gears so fast. Jalen Green, the Rockets.
Oh man,
he's looking great. Doing
good. The Rockets have got themselves. Looks like a star in the making right now.
Yeah, the number 1, number 2 pick went at it a couple of days ago, and Jalen Green looked like he can handle his own against one of the best rookie guys in the class.
That is very exciting for the Rockets. So on the way up for the Rockets, Texans, we'll see what happens with them. Hey, Frank, we're going to wrap up the show. Next week, we've got on Monday, Larry Payne. He's our host of Dialogue Houston on HCCTV. He'll be here with us on Monday. And Juan Alanis, another HCC business plan competition winner. He'll be here to talk to us about the competition and how great it is. So, Frank, you'll be back next week?
Absolutely.
All right, man. Good seeing you again. We'll see you next week. We'll see all of you Monday morning live, 10 a.m. right here and Up to the Minute.